Dale Dawson stationery supplies.
Green lichen.
Deadly Skull. This game is a simple take on Among Us, except it's set in an office. It has proximity chat and absolute chaos ensues. When you start the game, you actually start off in the lobby where you can customize settings as you want and create the game you want to. The one thing you will find in this game is that if you set it to SFW, a lot of people won't really join the game and it'll take a while before you actually start a game. But if you set it to NSFW, the lobby will fill up within about 30 seconds. As I mentioned before, this game has proximity chat, which means that you can hear people the closer they are to you. This also means that you can hear people through walls, but it's very, very muffled. This adds to the immersion of the game and makes it feel more realistic, while also giving you the ability to sometimes eavesdrop through walls and hear what people are talking about, though this can kind of mess you up if you're talking to the wrong people. You will also find that a lot of people in this game like to swear, and they like to say certain different slurs of different types, so if you are going to stream this game at any point, it would be very beneficial for you to make sure that your audio channel for the game and your microphone are separate so you can mute things as you need to. It is chaotic and very much out of control.
However, when it comes to the game being chaotic, there is a recently added kick function which allows you to stop that chaoticness, if that's a word, and it helps with keeping the lobby under control, and it's a very good feature. Another way to prevent the chaoticness is to lure people into your lobby with the NSFW filter and change it to the SFW filter so then people know to be safe, obviously for family friendly and stuff like that. Another thing that you can do is if you're a streamer, let's say a big streamer, you can ping your Discord server, tell people to remain family friendly for Twitch or whatever you're streaming on, and you can make a private lobby specifically for followers and people in your Discord server. Then we have different roles in the office, such as the janitor, the manager, specialist, and the slacker. Starting off with the janitor, as someone who has a lot of experience as being the janitor, seeing as I get fired and fired and fired, all you do is run around smoking and cleaning up trash. That's about it. That's all the janitor role is. The way you become the janitor is by being the first person fired, unless you somehow manage to do what I did and become an assistant about 5 times in one game. But we'll talk about that later. Speaking of smoking and doing nothing, we will introduce the slacker role. As a slacker, you can do various things such as smoking, putting jelly on staplers, and putting viruses on people's computer, as well as setting bins on fire. You have to do the various tasks such as setting bins on fire, putting viruses on computers, and stopping the servers without being seen in the act, because those are tasks that only slackers can do. When it comes to a meeting or a conference, you have to try and convince the manager that's other people so you and your teammates can win.
And then you have the specialist role. The specialist role has certain tasks they have to complete, as well as slacker tasks, which can kind of make them seem like a slacker even though they're not. Tasks for this role include things like putting paperwork on desks and printing things off and having them signed. And it can be kind of a bit tedious at times, but you also have to keep an eye out at the same time for slackers, which makes it more interesting and a little bit more difficult. Then finally, you have the manager role. The manager obviously is in charge of the office. They have to do tasks on their own, as well as sign paperwork for other people that need it done. And they also have the keys to all the doors, so they have the ability to open up all the doors if they get locked by some slackers. There are added pressures as a manager because you have to call meetings every now and again, and you have to fire people that you think are slackers. This makes it a little bit more difficult because you have to focus on way too many things at once, and if on your first playthrough you were to be unlucky enough to be a manager, good luck to you. Managers also have the ability to promote an assistant, so they can have someone that helps them out, though they don't know who the slackers are, so there's a chance they could hire a slacker as an assistant. Or in our game, somehow Deadly got demoted to a janitor and then ended up becoming an assistant, which I cannot get my head around and don't understand why that was a thing. But he was walking around wearing janitor's overalls but was an assistant.
I don't know how I managed to do that. I just sort of started helping out the manager, and then he said I could become an assistant and help him out because I was already doing that. And I was doing a lot of work aside from smoking. and asking people to smoke with me in the copier room.
I was lucky enough in my first game to actually win as a slacker, even though all my teammates essentially got kicked out straight away, including Deadly. I was somehow able to clutch at the end and convince the manager to fire someone else and ended up winning the game. With a little bit of help from Deadly. I'll give him credit for that.
I'm a very glorious person when it comes to lying, and I managed to convince the manager that his assistant was a slacker, as well as him chipping in on bits and bobs that sort of backed it up. But he lied as well.
Overall, after playing this game for quite some time with Deadly, I can say it's definitely a fun game, and if you like Among Us, then you could be interested in this game as long as you kind of like office environments as well, which is a really weird thing to say.
It is a very weird thing to say. Don't know why you would say something like that. Also, I think the only reason why the game was fun for you was because I was playing it as well. And I'm a very funny guy. Speaking of being funny, go down in the comments and let us know what you think on this funny little game.
But if this isn't your type of game, then maybe you're like Astrobot, and if you somehow haven't heard of this game, where the hell have you been?
Other than that, thank you for watching our video.
I've been Lycan.
And I've been Deadly
from Green Lycan Reviews, and we'll see you in the next one.